Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to look at the manager hierarchy security model. So imagine a scenario where you need to create a dashboard for a supervisor or manager, and you want that to dynamically show all records owned by that person or any of their direct reports. So the way you can enable this is going into security settings and enabling manager hierarchy. So let's get started. Let's first of all just have a quick look at Microsoft Learn. I'll link this page in the video description below. We can see here there's a brief outline of manager hierarchy. There's a couple of different hierarchy security models, but this one specifically we want to look at is manager hierarchy. So what you can actually do is come in and enable manager hierarchy in the environment settings. You can then enable which tables you want that to be on, so that's a really good granular feature. And also you can set a depth of how much you want that hierarchy to be applied. So let's take this fantastic looking graphic here and run through a scenario. So if I set the manager hierarchy to a depth of 1, then that means when I'm logged in as a CEO, I'd be able to see any, and let's say we enabled it for the accounts table in Dataverse, the CEO as logged in can see any of the accounts they own, but also any of the accounts for the VP of sales or the VP of service, where any of the users who are in the VP of service or any of the users who are VP of sales, where their user record has the manager set to the CEO. And I'll show you what that actually looks like and how to configure that in Power Platform Admin Center, and then what that actually looks like in Dynamics 365. So any model-driven app using Dataverse, you can use this feature and set it up. So take some time to just go through this. There's some really good examples and just terminology here that will just help you out. Make sure that you understand there's a couple of prerequisites. So the user or the manager that has access to the records needs to have read privilege, for example, but that kind of makes sense in the security roles. And also they need to be in the same business unit. I think there is an option of getting around that by enabling a different feature I haven't looked at too much. I've been working with Dynamics for a very long time, and this is the first time I've actually had to enable manager hierarchy. So after having a look at that recently, I just wanted to do a video and share that with you. Okay, so let's jump back to environment settings. So go to Power Platform, admin.powerplatform.com, choose your environment, and then go to settings. And if you just search for hierarchy security, then you'll basically get to this page here. If you want to get to that Learn article, you can launch it from here, but it will be in the description of the video below. What we need to do here is enable manager hierarchy model. Clicking on configure just takes you to a list of users, but we'll have a look at that in a minute. So once you've enabled manager hierarchy, you can then set the depth. So depends what level of depth that you want to extend the manager hierarchy to. As I explained before, we're just going to set this one to 1, and then here you can also then set the tables that you actually want to enable that on. So just to make things quick, let's find the account. So I already selected the account previously, and once I've done that, I'm just going to click save. So let's leave that saving. That's been quick. You might find that actually takes a long time, especially if it's the first time you're doing it. So now the next thing is you want to set up your users. So you can actually launch the users from here, or you could just go through the admin center, go go to your environment settings and then search for users and then find the user you're looking for. So in here, I'm logged in as sysadmin. I just want to find another user in here. So if I open that user record, you'll see, and this is kind of the classic view really, it's not actually that nice to use. But if you go under the summary tab from the classic view, you'll see manager here. Now I've already pre-populated that. If you wanted to, you could remove that and then look for another user in your organization, but I'll just put system admin back in there. Okay, I'm just going to save that record. Now it is a bit nicer using the new admin center, so if we just came in here and search users, I'll just show you the other way of doing it. You can still search. I only have a few users set up, so I'd be able to search, but I can just click on the user here, and if you see on the right hand side under manager, you can change the manager here, so you're just going to get the same lookup to the user table. Okay, so what that now means is I can then go and set up a view in Dynamics 365 in a model-driven app, and I'll be able to get a view which will be able to allow me to show all accounts owned by system administrator as well as Alan Steiner. So here I am in Copilot Service Workspace. It used to be called Customer Service Workspace. So don't be fooled by that. Now I've set up this view and I've saved it. So accounts owned by current user or reporting hierarchy. Let's look at the filters, because this is the key piece that really hangs all of this together. So what really drove this was needing a view to put on a dashboard so that any logged in supervisor or manager can easily see a list of records that their team are working in. Now that logged in user is not necessarily going to own records, but the operator that we're going to use here does allow for that to happen. So what I've done is just set a very simple filter where it says owner, which is obviously the correct field to be filtering on here, basically the owner field of this record, which is an account, and select the operator to be equals current user or their reporting hierarchy. So that's already set up. Now there are a couple of different options here: current user and their team, or their reporting hierarchy and their teams. So obviously if you've got a more complex model, then you might want to use that, and if you've got a team structure set up, then you could have a look at these different operators here. The reason I've chosen this is because my specific requirement was around only a single user rather than a team owning a record. So again, if we just select that, we can click apply, and then I'd set up the view columns here just to outline exactly how this is working. So we can see that a number of these accounts are owned by me as the current user, the system admin. We've got the owning business unit, so I can see, and this allows me just to test that it's working as expected. So they're all in the same business unit. This is the root business unit. And I've also put in the column to say, based on the related owning user record, bring out the manager field that we set up. So you can see here that I can also see, well, Alan's also owning these two accounts here, and we can see that I am, as the system admin, the manager. And that's it. Once you've sorted that all out, that should be working as I've demonstrated there. There shouldn't be anything else that you need to look at, but I would urge you test this in a sandbox. Just make sure it's not in conflict with any of your other security policies that have been set up, any of your other security architecture that you've set up, and definitely have a read through these details here, and it'll just give you a better sense of what's going on. But in terms of setting it up, yeah, that's as straightforward as that. So I hope you found this useful. I hope you got some value from it. Give the video a like, and please subscribe to the channel, and look out for some more videos coming soon. Thanks so much. See you soon.